Yo, like, share this episode. Tell me what you think and all that good stuff. And we're going to do like we always do. We're going to talk that talk and we're going to go out and make it happen. You know, I had some technical difficulties a while ago. I don't know what the problem was. I had some technical difficulties for a couple minutes. But hey, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? We here. We made it, baby. We made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, share this episode. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about. You know, a lot of things I want to talk about. And you know, I've learned that I've learned over the past 20 years why so many guys have the problems that they do. And it ain't just because they don't got no game. It's much deeper than that. It ain't a lot of it has to do with how people were raised. Is one thing, but you can't use that as an excuse for the rest of your life. There's certain things, there's certain men, I would say, some of us can't afford to be making a lot of mistakes. Our mistakes have to be as less as possible for most of us, because a lot of us, we don't have no safety blanket. I know I don't have no safety blanket. You know, whatever I do, this shit has to work. I have to make it work, even when it might not look like it's gonna work. Cause I have no safety blanket, so I have to make it do what it do to the best of my abilities. That's how you have to operate if you don't have no safety blanket. Now, if you have a safety blanket, hey, knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Rock out, tear your cock out. I guess that's what you really want to do. But a lot of guys kind of like to be in the shadows. They don't want to face or see things for what it is. That's what I've learned over the past couple of years. A lot of guys, I mean, just a lot of people in general, just don't want to know certain things. They would rather stay in the valley of abyss or in the ocean of abyss than to see things and even people for what it is. This is why I always say it's doggy dog out here. And a lot of guys don't get it. And this is why a lot of guys get taken advantage of. Get caught off guard. And now he's mad and upset. He's mad and upset because he didn't want to see that woman who she really was. This is why you have some guys, well, they'll get into a routine for months, years, and one day they'll come home early, open the door, another man in the room with his wife. or his girlfriend, and he's totally oblivious. He don't even know how it happened. Why would this happen to me? You're gonna be like Tyrese. You're gonna be like the singer Tyrese on Instagram. Why would this happen to me? I know all these millionaires and billionaires. Why y'all doing this to me? You're gonna be like Tyrese on Instagram crying because they think everything is supposed to be black and white. There's a gray area. There's always a gray area. There's always an area where the average man and woman don't want to be around, or maybe just not aware of. And that's okay if you don't want to be around a certain environments. Nothing wrong with that. But that don't mean you should know about it. That doesn't mean you should act like it doesn't exist. See, I always say you have what I call above the surface world, what you see on the surface, and what you have is below, what some people call the shadow world or the underworld, where people operate in silence most of the time. Or people operate it's like they're in a different world. And a lot of things in the shadow world is starting to come above the surface now. And a lot of guys are not ready for that. Unfortunately, a lot of guys don't want to. They say stuff like body. They talk about body count, and I mean, a lot of people, men and women today, they have a lot of they're kind of delusional when it comes to. They have unbelievable expectations, and both men and women put it on each other today. Guys looking for a woman with a low body count. If you ask them, well, how much is a low body count? Well, less than 5 people. You're not going to find no woman with less than five with a 5 body count, unless she's a virgin today, or unless you catch her when she's 18. And even some 18-year-old girls still got more than 5 guys underneath their belt. So the chances of you finding a girl with less than 5 guys underneath her belt is slim to none. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even ask a woman what's her body count, because I know she's going to lie 9 times out of 10, or she's going to say, well, those guys don't count because that was a one-night stand, or that guy don't count because the sex was whack. I wasn't into it. So it's going to be that type of way of thinking. So I wouldn't even ask a woman her body count. I would know based on my experience if she has a high body count anyway, as I get to know her. So I wouldn't even, the truth is going to come out at some point. That's how that is. You know? And then you got some guys that'll say stuff like, they put high expectations on the wrong woman. That happens a lot too. It's like, and I don't understand how if that woman couldn't do that anyway. She couldn't fulfill that standard that you want anyway. But a lot of women will fake it until they make it. They'll try. They'll play. A lot of women that probably got ran through will settle down with a nerd, have kids, play house, and she'll have another guy on the side, and her dude will never know it. 10, 15, 20 years might go by. He still don't know nothing. And if the only way the guy will find out is if somebody tells on her. That's the only way. This happens all the time today. All the time. Like there's a lot of Suki Hanas and man, what's the other girl name? Scarlips and Cardi B's and what's the other girl? God damn. I forgot. There's a lot of women out here like that. And they playing the same game. They look for nerds. They look for guys that are good providers, but they're not really into these guys. These guys don't. The nerds don't turn them on, but they're willing to settle. You know. And a lot of these women are on television now. If you look at, did you see the BET Awards? Man, that shit was horrible. Now, I didn't see the whole thing. I have to admit, I can't sit and watch all of them, that debauchery. You know, it seems like today, and I know, Tyler Perry, I heard Tyler Perry is trying to buy BET, or maybe he bought it already, and they just haven't made the announcement yet. But if that's true, if Tyler Perry did buy BET, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because boy, how BET is now, this is not a good look. You know, you got these holes on BET, basically. These Ratchet holes that get to do and act a fool. And they ain't representing, man. That's not a good look. You know, that's not. Let me tell you the problem with these Ratchet holes. And see, you have to understand, they don't do that. These other groups of people don't put the bottom of the barrel bitches on their networks and display them like they're the standard of women in their community. No, them other groups of people don't do that. They only do that shit with us. They exploit us. Those women on television shaking their ass and being the hood rat that they are, they're being exploited. Some of them know they're being exploited. And some of them are just who they are. And unfortunately, a lot of these girls, in order to get a record deal and to get some shine, they got to play the slut role. Because sex sells, and they know that they got to, if they play the slut role, listen to slut rap music, they know that's going to sell. Because guys like hearing that aggressive talk. That aggressive talk turns a lot of guys on. for whatever reason. I don't understand that shit. The aggressive talk, that really don't do anything for me. It never has. What turns me on is action. I'm about that action. I'm about that action, dog. I don't know about the aggressive talk and big talk. That shit don't do nothing to me. Big talk don't move me. Action, that's what moves me. But it moves big talk, nastiness, dirty talk, that moves a lot of guys. Even women. So these girls that's rapping, they understand this. So they're just pandering to a certain market. In the music business. That's all they're doing. Well, a lot of them on the internet now, so that's what they're doing. And it works for them. For most of them, it works. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't sell no records. Nobody would pay attention to them. Let's just be honest. A lot of these people don't really have a lot of talent. Outside of how they look, most of these girls, nobody gonna be listening to their lyrics. A lot of these girls can't flow like that. Let's call a spade a spade. And I ain't hating on nobody. Let them get their money. How they get it. You know? And this ain't just started. This started with what? Probably with Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown back in the day. But why do black people has to be the face of all the fuckery on television? Why, you know what I'm saying? No other group does that. They only put us, we have to be the face of everything on television. I don't like that. You know, everything that's that's have some type of degenerate behavior, they always put the black people up there on the pedestal. Hey, look at him. Hey, look at her. Or anything that's let's take the movie Precious, for example. That was a horrible movie. I mean, the movie Precious, that shit was so bad. I couldn't even look at all that shit. That's how bad it was. Like Precious and them slave movies. I don't look at that shit. Hell no. I'm saying no. They all see, and some people will say, "Man, it's just a movie, man. It's just an awards, man. Let them live. They're having fun." Well, who said everything has to be fun all the time? Who told you everything has to be fun all the time? Life ain't about having fun all the time. Having a good time. I just want to have a good time, man. I was trying to enjoy myself, man. Well, life ain't about having a good time all the time and enjoying yourself all the time. Sometimes it's a time and a place for everything, like they used to say. Maybe your parents forgot to tell you that. There's a time to get serious. There's a time to talk business. There's a time to whip some ass. There's a time to tell somebody to fuck off. Everything ain't supposed to be fun all the time. Everything ain't supposed to be ka and kissing ass all the time. Everything ain't supposed to be entertainment all the time. And getting high and drinking beer all the time and taking shots. Everything ain't supposed to be like that all the time. Believe it or not. Maybe your parents forgot to tell you that. And a lot of these hoes that you see on television and on the internet, They were raised by hoes. So a lot of these hoes kind of, this is normal behavior to them. They getting rewarded for the degenerate behavior, and that's exactly what always happens. And these producers are making fun of their asses. These producers are laughing behind the scenes. They crossing their damn fingers laughing at this shit. And these producers of these shows, 9 times out of 10, are foreigners. Black foreigners. And let me tell you when I learned this. I learned this 15 years ago. I learned that a lot of these white corporations, they'll hire a foreigner to be in charge of a website or a company or some, they'll put them in a position where they have the authority to do whatever they want to us. And when the shit hits the fan, the white person ain't got nothing to do with it. He said, hey, I hired him. He was in charge. And see, I learned that if these people want to exploit you or taking advantage of you, if they can do it, they probably will. And this is my experience. I've been in situations where this clown was trying to take advantage of me, and I pushed back. I stood up. And see, and here's another side of this. If you stand up for yourself, you're going to become the problem. And your time is going to be numbered. Your days are probably going to be numbered. And you probably won't be working there no more. So this is why a lot of times a lot of people will go along to get along, because they don't want to lose their job or lose their position or lose the deal they got. So they'll go along with the fuckery. And the reason why they have to go along with it in most cases, because that's all they got. They ain't got nothing else. If they lose their job or lose their deal or lose their position, they don't know what they would do. And that's a problem. You shouldn't be solely dependent on one thing. I've been saying this for years. Depending on one thing is a recipe for disaster. Especially if they know that you need them. If they know this is all you got, that's even more reason that they'll try to take advantage of you and use you and abuse you and exploit you. But I don't tolerate that bullshit. And I've been in situations where I had to leave and just find another job. You know what I'm saying? I had to do what I had to do. And I was like, yo, how do I not end up in a situation like this again? And the solution was to have more than one income. So I don't have to be dependent on a job. If I don't like the job, if they start acting crazy when they come in with new management, I can quit and move on. And I'll still be able to pay my bills. I was thinking like this 20 years ago. I was thinking like this 20 years ago. I knew when I was 19 that I wasn't going to make it to 62 or 65 and retire and collect a social security check. I already knew that when I was 19. I wasn't gonna make it. I wasn't gonna be like my dad. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but I'm not built like my dad. I ain't built like him. He's better than me. And that's okay if my dad is better than me. But I know who I am. I'm not him. I am who I am. There's some shit I just can't tolerate. I can't put up with. And I don't play the politics well on these jobs. I don't play politics. I'm not good at doing that. And there's some people I just don't like being around certain types of people. I'm not good at playing ka and laughing and talking to people that I don't like. See, I'm not good at doing that. That's not, I wasn't raised like that. You know, some people say, well, you got to learn how to play the game. I don't know. The only game I know how to play is my game. I don't know how to play nobody else's game. And if you play somebody else's game, you're going to lose. You're going to lose 9 times out of 10 if you play somebody else's game. Because the game is set up for them to win. Just like my game is set up for me to win. That's like if you come to my house to visit and I'm having a party and I know everybody at the party. You don't. You're just a visitor. And in your mind, you think, hey, I'm going to this party and I'm going to get all the girls. No, you're not. I'm going to shine. No, you're not. The only way you're going to shine is if I want you to shine. It's my house. It's my party. The only people that's going to shine are the people that I want to shine. Because it's my house and my party. Now, if you don't like my party, go have your own party in your own house. You can't get mad at that. You got to respect that. You know? You got to respect that. And there's a lot of stuff that a lot of guys do today. I'm like, what? Why would you even go over there? Look, there's certain places in America I don't go. I'm not ever going. Like, I'm never going to North Dakota, South Dakota, Arkansas, Nebraska, Alabama, Mississippi. I'm never going to these states. Ever. They're like, why not? I have no reason to go there. I don't know anybody there. These are not good places to take a fucking vacation. I'm never going to Oregon, Idaho. What the hell I'm going to these states for? This ain't no tourist attraction. Not for me. There's certain states, certain towns. What I'm going there for? You know, There's like, and if I go to a town that I've never been before for whatever reason, maybe it's work related or whatever, I'm not going to be jogging at night. I'm not jogging. Oh, I'm going to get my workout. I'm jogging down the street at night. And what? Tuscaloosa, Alabama, some shit like that. What are you doing outside at? Why the fuck would you jog after midnight in some butt fuck Mississippi town where nobody knows you and you don't know nobody? And when you run into that crazy ass cop, you mad. Come on, man. Nobody told you? Like there's certain place. When I was growing up, my parents told me, look, there's some shit we just can't do. Okay? You're going to lose. Even if you win, you're still going to lose. There's some people you just can't follow. You can't follow everybody. There's some people you just got to let them do what they do, and you now maybe you might be able to do it, but you can't duplicate how they did it. And that's because there's so many racial double standards in this country. No, two people can do the same thing. Two different people can do the same thing. But people don't look at the two individuals the same. Two different people can say the same thing. They'll say, he's great. They'll say the other person, they might ignore the other person. And that's how it is. That's what we got. You don't have to like it, but that's just how it is. And most people, believe it or not, this is what I've found. Most people don't really have a problem with it. You might disagree with this. Most people don't really want things to change in North America. They like things the way it is because they benefit from it. This is why if you start talking about something that's quote controversial, they don't want to talk about it. They'll change the subject. Even if it happened to you. They still don't want to hear about it. They don't have a problem with it. They're like, well, shit, that's on you. I don't care. Better you than me. So most people like things the way it is. They don't want to talk about anything that don't have nothing to do with them. Even if it has something to do with them, they still don't care about it. It's just across the board. Go to your job, and if you don't believe me, go to your job or your family members and start talking about something that happened to you. Maybe you got mistreated on a job. Maybe you got pulled over by a cop for some bullshit, and see what they say. See how they respond. And I can almost guarantee you're going to get two responses. It's going to be a negative response or no response. Guaranteed. Those are two responses you're going to get. You're not going to get no sympathy, no empathy. That's a very small percentage of people that would give you some sympathy or empathy or say, oh, man, I'm sorry about that. How can I help? That's a very small number right there, buddy. Yeah, most people don't want things to change. They like it. They like things the way it is. They like turning on the television or going on the internet and seeing some old cowboy cop beat people. They don't have a problem with cops beating people up, beating kids up, killing kids, or beating innocent people up. They jumping on people that they ain't gonna fight back. That most people they don't got a problem with it. And you know why I said most people don't got a problem with it? Because if they did, it wouldn't keep going. It would have stopped a long time ago. They don't got a problem with other people's kids getting beat up by cops. As long as it don't happen to theirs. Yeah, it's doggy dog out here. A lot of you might say, oh, it's far-fetched, it's bullshit. Shit. It's people you work with think like this. People you talk to at your job every day. They feel exactly what I'm saying. Or not very close to it. You work with them every day. You probably been working with them 5, 10, 15 years. You know, I never knew he thought like that. I didn't know you felt that way about me. They don't care about you. They wish you didn't exist. They wish they could delete you like a computer program. They wish they could get rid of you so they could take your job position. As a matter of fact, they're the ones that's probably stabbing you in the back. Every time something happens, you're trying to figure out who's telling on you. They're the main ones that you talk to telling on you at your job. And they talk to you every day in your face, smiling and and you tell them everything. Because you think y'all, that's your buddy. Y'all friends, right? Y'all friends, right? Until his sister starts being attracted to you and he finds out about it. Or his niece starts to be attracted to you and he finds out about it. And God forbid his wife starts to be attracted to you and he finds out about it. Let's see how long y'all stay good buddies after that. Y'all won't be buddies no more if it's up to him. Now, if it's up to his wife, y'all might be good buddies then. Oh, yeah. Because she wants some action. Oh, yeah. The wife want your good old buddy at the job. If his wife is attracted to you, she wants some of that soul pole, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. A lot of guys don't like talking about that. His wife wants some of that soul pole, but you won't give it to her because you don't, you kind of in denial about how your buddy and his wife really get down. So you kind of be like, what? Nah, I don't want to smash your wife, man. Nah. You know? And you know what's crazy? Being that you just turn the wife down, that will end the relationship, believe it or not. I've seen it happen that way. Because they look at it like, well, if that's your buddy, if y'all supposed to be friends, and you won't smash my wife, well, hell, what do we need to be friends with you for? You don't have anything that we need, so hey, we can just cut you off. You end this relationship. Just like that. And you know what? He's right. There's nothing that a black person has that a white person really needs. Think about it. It's really true. There's a lot of truth to that. Think about it. I'm not talking about no entertainment. I'm talking about things that we really need as humans. Food, water, shelter, shit like that. I'm not, a white person don't really need to be around us. And that happens all the time in the Midwest. There's white people that don't live around black people. I met guys like this in the Navy. I met guys in the Navy ain't never been around a black person ever. In his town, it's all white, 100%. He ain't never seen a black person until he saw me in person. Yeah, they see him on TV, but I'm talking about in the flesh. So a white guy or a white woman might have lived in an all-white town, ain't never been around a black person ever. So they don't need anything from us at all. So there's some truth to that. Now a lot of white women might be curious, and that's where a lot of that is, white women like being around us. It's curious. They're always curious, boy. I wonder what it'd be like being with a black guy, all that nonsense, But it's true. I've seen relationships end because a lot of people feel like us black men, they feel like we're not supposed to have no standards. We're supposed to accept and take anything. And if we have standards, how dare you have standards? How dare you turn me down? How dare you rejected me? You uppity Negro. You're supposed to take me as I am. And this is why whenever I see a woman complaining about a guy, complaining about a black male and saying how he expects so much, and I like, congratulations, he has standards. Congratulations to him. He has standards, that's all. That's why she's having a hard time, because she don't want no structure. And the bar is low for her. She wants the bar to be low. So a woman like that, if a woman like that is with a guy that has standards and boundaries, and he likes structure, a woman like that, he gonna have to let her go. That ain't gonna work. That's like putting a card through a small hole. That ain't gonna work. Like some people say, putting a card through a square hole. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. He might as well cut her out and let her go. Send her back to, I don't know, wherever she came from. That's like a guy. Another good example of that is a hood chick getting with a guy that got standards, boundaries, and structure. She ain't gonna like that either, unless she wants to be upgraded. That's the only way that's gonna work. Unless she wants to be upgraded, otherwise that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. But it's always good to keep in mind that it's doggy dog out here. It ain't pretty. I ain't never seen it pretty nowhere I've been. Oh, it might look pretty in the tourist areas if you go to another country. But if you stay in that country long enough, you stay in that place long enough, oh, you're going to see something. You're going to see another side. See, it's always another side everywhere you go. Any country, any city. There's always another side. I ain't never seen nothing pretty. I ain't never seen nothing perfect. I ain't never seen nothing, glamorous. Oh, it might be nice over here. But 2 blocks down is some of the biggest hoods in America. Oh, you might be living good, but there's a lot of homeless people downtown. You got this white man, look like a veteran, standing up at the red light with a damn a paper saying he'll work for food. A white man standing up at the red light talking about he'll work for food. And then at the other red light, you got a woman, look like she from Eastern Europe, with her kids on the side of the road, talking about her husband left and went on a vacation. Said the husband went on a vacation, didn't come back, left them stranded in America. And now they're homeless in a shelter. 3 kids. So just because you're doing okay, or maybe you're rich, that don't mean shit is pretty out here. No. No. A lot of us forgot where we came from. That happens a lot too. But I've seen shit go left real fast for a lot of people. I've seen shit go left real fast. I've seen people go from only take 1 paycheck for all the bills to get behind. 1 paycheck. You miss 1 paycheck. All the bills. He behind on all the damn bills. If he lose his job, shit, it's over. He might lose every goddamn thing. I've seen that happen quite a few times. Or if he get robbed like I did one time. Fool took all my damn money. I ain't had no money in the bank. I had all the money stashed in my apartment. Took all my damn money. And I got transferred. That took 3 months for me to get transferred to another office. I'm done. All my shit gone. Car gone. I got evicted. Had to start all over again. Damn. Doesn't get any worse than this. At least that's what I was thinking at the time. It could have gotten worse though. But that's what I was thinking at the time. So I've seen shit go left. But let me tell you what the main problem I had back then is I didn't have no skills. You gotta have the skills to pay the bills. I didn't have no skills. I just had a job. That's all I had was a job. I didn't have no skills. There was nothing unique about me back then. I wasn't doing this back then. I wasn't online back then. I was just working a job and having a good time. And if I didn't make enough money, I had to figure it out. Sometime that worked out. Most of the time it didn't. My bank account showed it. My bank account was shit, overdraft many times. And you know what? I had one bank account which was another mistake that I made. You got one bank account? Hell no. Oh, that's a no.
No, no, no.
You can't have one bank account. No, you got to have more than one bank. Hell no. That's another recipe for a disaster. Having just one of anything is a recipe for a disaster. One woman, one car, one shoes, one pants, one shirt, one bank account, one income. You just asking for it. You're asking for something bad to happen. You know? But that's the type of shit I had to go through. I had to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, I didn't have anybody around me to tell me anything different until 2010 is when I finally met somebody, and he was a millionaire at the time. He kind of introduced me to a whole different way of thinking, whole different way of being, whole different way of making a living. And it's been on and popping ever since. Been on and popping ever since, man. And I look, when I was going through all that shit, I was like, man, you know what? If I get through this will never happen to me again. This will never happen to me again. And it never happened to me again. No one ever robbed me, stole all my money, none of that shit. It never happened again. You know? I got more than one bank account with more than one bank. You know? I got good credit today, too. That's another thing. Back then, I had bad credit. That's another problem that I had back then. I had bad credit back then. Today, I have excellent credit. Back then, horrible credit. Because you don't know what you don't know. I was telling somebody that today. You don't know what you don't know. And that hurts us sometimes. Well, if you don't know what you don't know, that's going to hurt you, man, sometimes. We think we're doing the right thing. But in reality, we're not. And a lot of times we don't even realize it until we got taken advantage of. And there's a good chance you're being taken advantage of right now. Doing something. Maybe you're trying to buy something. Maybe you're trying to buy a house or a car. Maybe you've invested money in something. Maybe you're being taken advantage of by a woman for your time. You might not even realize. You might take everything everyone says serious the first time. You might take everything of face value. Whatever the realtor says, you believe it. Whatever the banker says, you believe it. Whatever they say on the news, you believe it. Whatever they say in the newspaper, you believe it. You might give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know why you would do that. Most of these people, I don't know why you would give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Everybody? God damn. Why would you do that? You might say, hey, man, they would never lie to me. She would never lie to me, man. I'm like, never? That's some strong words there, brother. Never, ever? Under no circumstances? God damn. Shit, my mom knew better than that. You know what my mom told me? She's like, look, if you put a woman in the if you put the average woman in the right circumstances, right or wrong, depending on how she sees it, she will lie. My mom told me this when I was young, when I was a teenager. She's like, them bitches will lie, boy. Them young girls will lie. But she didn't curse, but she said, them young girls will lie, boy. You can't believe everything they say. My mom told me this now. So, see, my mom knew the game. She was an older woman at the time, but she still knew the game. You know? And that's one thing I always respected about my parents. They never lied to me. This is why this is why I never brought a lot of girls to meet my parents. Because if I brought somebody to see my mom, she would be able to tell me everything, damn near everything about her. As far as her character, what type of girl she is she's fit for marriage, is she fit for long-term relationship. Because when I would bring a girl over, I would ask her, hey, what you think about her? She like, she ain't the one. Or she's cool. She has potential. Because, you know, women they pick up on things that us guys don't. Us guys, a lot of us are clueless. Something can be so obvious to a woman like your mom or your sister. A guy, he can't even see it. He's kind of in a goddamn trance, spellbound. You know, it's okay to be spellbound, but there's a balance. It's okay to be excited and you like being around her, you're having sex, getting to know each other. All that's cool, but there's a balance. You know, you can't just be in that mindset and throw out all the logic. You know, let women do. The women are like that. Let women be like that. It's fine for a woman to be like that. That's fine. But you as a man, no, you can't stay in that spellbound mindset for months and years. At some point, you'd be like, wait a minute. I like being around her. I like how she looked. I like her mom, her dad, where she came from, how she grew up, her morals and values. Is she sexy? Yeah. I like how she dressed, how she carry herself. Yeah. However, is she fit for a long-term relationship? And do she have the capacity to love? Or is she lovable? And does she make a good mother to my kids? Those are the big questions you're going to have to ask yourself about her. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. But is she nurturing? Or she's the type that just like being on the side like a goddamn cheerleader? Oh, I don't want to be involved. Or she's that type. She'll look at you from a distance. You do all the work. And when you get to a certain point, she's like, hey, I want to go too. What? What for? You ain't done shit. You was on the sideline chilling, on the telephone, on the internet trolling, while I was putting in all the work, talking to people on the phone, doing all the paperwork, banging the phone, I stayed up damn near all night. I'm out and about meeting people. And now, once you see that I got some momentum, you want to jump in and be like, oh, I want to go too. Hell no. No, you don't need that type of woman. What do you need a woman like that for? This is about a team. It's about the team, not the individual. This is a team sport, not an individual sport. What the hell are we doing? Yeah. So yeah, like, share the video. Let me see. You're talking about David McDonald. Talking about them whole train. That's funny. The producers are using them women as mascots to promote the image of black people. Yep. If you have standards and you get a hood chick, you have to be on your game every day. She will eventually slip back to the familiar and bring you down to her level. Yeah, that happens most of the time, I would say. I don't know a lot of hood chicks that really upgrade themselves. Not a lot of them. They might live in a different neighborhood, but they still got that hood mentality. There's a lot of hood single chicks out here with kids. There's a lot of them. So they might live better, but they're not actually doing better. They still got that same hood mentality. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here. If you want to talk about anything, come on down. You know, I'll put the link in here. Otherwise, I'm gonna be up off here. I'm gone. If you don't want to talk about anything, I pretty much got my point across. You know. And P.S. and by the way, don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast and the Patreon. You can take the kid. You can take you can take the kid out the hood, but not the hood out the kid. People revert back to the way they learned to survive. Yeah. But the thing is, let me tell you the funny thing is about that. They might be out the hood, but they don't have to live that life that they used to live when they were in the hood. So how do you justify that shit? There's no justification for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling tonight, but oh, it's all good, bro. You know, how do you justify acting like you're in the hood, but you're not in the hood no more? That's the degenerate shit I was talking about earlier. That's degenerate behavior. Why are you twerking in an environment where this ain't no twerk fest? We're in a damn event. We're in we're supposed to be around people that know how to act and got some goddamn sense. And why are you twerking in the goddamn event? What are we doing? Why are you getting out of your car and twerking out in the street at the traffic light? That's the degenerate shit. Degenerate hood shit. Why are you twerking at the awards? That's what I'm talking about. And see, those women they get all the clout, get all the shine, and they get book deals and record deals and TV shows and all kind of shit. They get radio shows, all kind of shit. They don't have to, but they justify it by reverting back to what they know compared to going into the unknown. That's how the mind works. It brings you back. You have to push forward. Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. You know, I agree with that 100%. You know, but what up, man?
Yo, sharp.
How you doing, man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, just talking about why they justify it. You gotta understand, this is a cold world. It's scary, especially the unknown. Most people cannot go to the unknown. They weren't trained on how to focus on themselves to go forward. You either spiritually, mentally, you understand. They don't have the lack of education or lack of experience. So your mind reverts back to the way that things were. So they're trying to bring back, even if they're in a new environment, they're trying to bring back things from that old environment to the new one. That's why eventually, if you're not on your game, the people from the hood, you put them in a nice house, are gonna not clean it, tear it down, eventually start doing things they did before in the projects. Why? Because they're going back to their comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've actually seen people get like big. They get like 4 or 5 thousand square foot house with the girl and the kids, and they from the hood and everything, and they tear that goddamn house up after a couple years.
I saw where they tore up a house, some hood people. There's one guy who was older guy, retired out of the military, but he got sick and married a woman, a hood chick, brought her kids in the house and everything, taking care of them. But eventually, they burned down the house when the guy died.
Damn.
Left like iron on or something like that when they went out. But at the end of the day, they went back to what they knew, which was this destruction. That's all they had. That's all they ever knew. You understand? They're going back to a comfort zone in order to understand this crazy world.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
actually a sickness, really,
Yeah, it is a sickness. I agree with that.
because
Yeah.
in order to really be a person, you have to let go and go forward to the unknown. But like I said, most don't have the strength, either mentally or spiritually or intelligent wise. They have to go backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah. It's kind of, you know what that's like too? That's like someone that get rich and then they'll go back to being broke again after a
Yeah,
couple.
because people like that are scared of money. They want money, but because they have the lack of tools in order to generate money from nothing, when they get it, they have to give it away. They're giving it away, and they're replacing it with stuff to make them feel comfortable. Because this money scares me. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not supposed to have it. So how do I get rid of it? Oh, I buy stuff to justify a comfort zone.
Yeah.
But you buy this multi-million dollar house, you have to pay the taxes on it, the
Yeah.
light bill, you know,
It's
and
a
they can't.
lot of upkeep on them big ass
A
houses.
lot of upkeep, and they can't deal with that. So they go back. They have to lose it all to go back to a smaller place.
Or they might not lose the house, but they won't have no money.
Yeah. Oh, they'll probably squat in it, but eventually the government's gonna kick them out. I've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like some of these celebrities, like they'll start being careless with the money. They'll start trusting the accountants, don't watch anything, and before you know it, all the money gone.
Well,
I'm like, what?
with that, it's a lack of intelligence, meaning book smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the street smarts, but without the book smarts, they could put any piece of paper in front of you, and you see these numbers, and you're like, okay, but not realizing they probably just changed the date. You're looking at the same, you know, bank statement with different dates on it. I know a woman that happened to her. She lost everything. Her husband kept showing her these bank statements that was the same thing, just different dates. She thought, oh, okay, I have money now. That man ran through her. So it's a
Oh,
lack of
man.
intelligence
Yeah.
also. And you have to have both, book smart and street smart. But
Yeah.
the person with the street smart is thinking, oh, I'm getting over them doing so much work. But they don't realize I'm letting you think you're getting over me so I can take your money. It's basically chess.
Yeah.
I'm making you think you're taking my position, my pieces, but I'm positioning myself to take your king.
Yeah. And you know the weird thing is a lot of people they trust people too fast sometimes.
Well, I've seen that too. I'm gonna say this, man. Codependency is a sickness, man. It's a sickness.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. I grew up. It's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
I had it for years. I'm working on it. My mom had it with my stepdad. I know a guy, multi-million-dollar guy, on a diamond store near Resort Beach. Trusted a friend. Everybody warned, even me warned him about this guy. He cussed us out like Denzel Washington at the end of training day. Y'all don't know my friend. Okay, bye. Well, 4 months later, God showed him he was stealing checks from him for 10 years, millions of dollars, because he wanted to trust somebody so much that you want to put them under your thumb. That's the truth. You are codependent because you want to trust somebody so much you're in control of that person, thinking they're indebted to me. And that's wrong. They're not indebted to you for anything. They have their own life and everything. So you're wrong for trying to hold on to that person to justify your own lack of security for education or whatever you're missing. You're getting it from them.
Yeah, man. You know, it's wild to see that shit happen.
That's what's wrong with those hood chicks in the BET awards. They have a lack of love or stability, and they're overcompensating it, doing all that stuff in front of everybody, getting cheers, thinking, now I'm special. But you should have had that growing up from a father. They would have had a dad telling them that every day. They would never be out there doing that stuff.
Nah, no way. You know what I'm saying? No way, man. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem, man. You have a good night.
Peace. The real question is, why do they keep on inviting these degenerate people to these awards? Expect them not to be degenerate. It just makes it all award. Well, they do expect them to act like they act. That's the whole point. They're doing exactly what they want them to do. That's why they invite them on. That's my whole point of doing this video tonight and this show tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, share this episode and all that good stuff. Any questions, any concerns, go to renegademoney@gmail.com. That's how you get in contact with me. The email is below this video, scrolling at the bottom. Until next time, I'm out.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Here from God.